Now, Pro Football Focus, every year they always keep updating, their tier rankings of players, and especially they start with the offensive linemen today, offensive guards, as they had in that top tier, in the elite tier, Zach Martin, Quentin Nelson, obviously top graded guys. Then you have Joel Bitonio sitting there at 3. So Joel Bitonio in that top tier. In tier number 2, starting it off, you have Wyatt Teller. For the Browns, they're number 1 in tier 2, so just below that tier 1, but not quite elite in that pass protection. So, to bring in and talk about this, we have G. Bush from 92.3 The Fan, Garrett Bush. You guys can follow him on Twitter at GBush91. Now, G. Bush, I got to ask you, when it comes to, I know that you brought up Jedrick Wills last segment as well as Jack Conklin, both dealt with their own injuries. Do you feel like that with Bitonio and with Teller on the inside, with the way that Stefanski likes to call his offense, do you think that that gives them a little bit more of a baseline and more of a foundation for them to utilize that offensive line, given the fact that you have such good interior guards on this team?
Well, when you talk about offensive line play, to me, I've always there's a misconception that your game is set up by your tackles. That's not truthful. Most tackles are not the point of contact guys. Like if you take a look at even Joe Thomas, who's first ballot Hall of Famer, most of the Hall of Famers are in the Hall of Fame for their pass blocking. Go look at him. Anthony Munoz is another guy. They're more tacticians. The only guy that I would consider to be, in my opinion, dominant on pass blocking and running blocking is probably like Orlando Pace. I would say Pace is Jonathan Ogden. I would say is a little bit better of a run blocker than pass blocker. But I mean, it's hard to be great, and obviously Joe Thomas is definitely, he's known for pass protection. That's his forte. But most of the time you get your movement up at the point of attack from the 3 guys in the middle. That's why back in the day when you had 3 techniques, you needed 3 techniques and a big nose guard over a center so you wouldn't give up them plays in the middle. Nowadays, you don't really see that much. You see more 3 techniques that are trying to get upfield to disrupt the passer and do certain things like that. For me, I like the way the Browns are built because Jedrick Wills, to me, is more of a run blocker than pass protector. I like the fact that Conklin is more of a run blocker, too. So Bitonio is definitely a good in pass pro. Teller is a step below that, I give him. But I had to go check this, and I had to look up on my computer. I said, hold on. I know they're not talking about these guys, better overall? No. There's a couple of guys up on that last graphic that are not better than Teller because his run blocking is the best. His run blocking is the best in the game. He can get beat from time to time, get holding penalties time to time off the initial quick move and a slap and a rip. But other than that, to me, I think that he's the best run blocker out of the mix, and I think Bitonio is really equally good at both. So to me, I like my guards being guys who can really move a pile a little bit, and it works well because especially when you got running backs that like to cut the ball back. They can cut the ball back across the seam, and you got the backside guard moving to the next level. I like the way it's built. My thing is I want to see whether or not Jedrick Wills comes back from that that ankle injury, which has slowed him down. And he had that first game of the season against the Chiefs. And then Conklin, with that whole PCL situation and kneecap situation, it's hard to come back from, really devastating injuries, especially when you're bigger and you're a lineman, you're getting in the stance all the time. So we'll see how that works. But I'm confident in what they can do at those positions and still be able to run the football.